Hi everybody, welcome to my first V for victory on the new Battlefield 5 Firestorm Battle Royale mode. This is a solo match on the PlayStation 4, and I thought what I'd do is I'll talk you through the entire match, just to kind of give you a background on the tactics I use and sort of a few hints and tips. So what happens in Firestorm is the first circle appears over the map and the planes fly right through the middle at the moment, or pretty close to the middle actually. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing what I call the D23E strategy, which is picking somewhere towards the edge of the map, well, the edge of the circle that's away from the flight path, that doesn't have a name or doesn't have loads and loads of houses, because the idea is that you can drop probably by yourself and you can loot up safely and then move on. And this is pretty much a textbook D23E game, to be honest, just playing the edge of the circle. The theory behind this is that most people will drop along the flight path onto the large towns with names, or fly to the large places with names. On Firestorm you can get anywhere on the map from the flight path. You can see with this I'm travelling somewhere pretty close to the edge of the Firestorm, and I haven't even opened my parachute. If I'd opened my parachute earlier, I could travel even further. In fact, a good hint is that I opened my parachute way too late here, because I wanted to land at those houses underneath me, but I should have opened up earlier and ended up going to some other houses. Now let's talk about guns and inventory. So in Firestorm we have lots of the guns from the multiplayer. So we've got shotguns, pistols, SMGs, LMGs, assault rifles or rifles, and we have snipers. And the pistols, the shotguns, the SMGs, the LMGs, the rifles and the snipers have different ammunition that you pick up, and your inventory is controlled by weight, so you can only carry so much ammo. So you can carry 2 guns and a pistol, throwables, and some sort of anti-tank weapon like a Panzerfaust or a rifle, a grenade rifle. And so what you need to be doing as you're going along and you're picking up, say, an SMG, and you're picking up SMG ammo, just keep an eye on how many bullets you've got. You probably don't need more than 150 to 200 SMG bullets. If you've picked up a shotgun with a shotgun ammo and you choose to drop it, drop the shotgun bullets as well. You want to get rid of them so you can pick up, say, more rifle bullets. Now the guns themselves are organised into classes, in terms of standard, I think rare. I think there might be 4 classes at the moment, I'm not dead sure, but green are the normal ones. And then as you get the rarer ones of the different colours, they have more attachments and more specialisations. So, for example, if you picked up a green Tommy gun, that will have loads of recoil and iron sights. If you pick up a green sniper rifle, that will just have iron sights. But as you pick up the more rare ones, they'll have different attachments, so it'll have a scope on. You can't pick up things like scopes or grips or extra large magazines in the game. They're not there. In effect, you would replace one gun with another gun. And from what I've come across already, it seems to me that the better guns will be in the supply drops. Now what's happened here is somebody has opened this door. Now to open these doors into these big bunkers that contain vehicles, you have to turn two big rings on the left and the right hand side. You do the left one, the siren goes off. You do the right one, and you need to open both to get the vehicle out. I did this in an earlier game and then got shot by somebody. And simply I shot somebody who was doing it as well, because that big siren's going off. So I think this guy might be behind here. Now there's a stag hunt in this one. Now so far in solos it's probably not that good idea to get something like a tank, because you can't operate it and fire it at the same time. But in squads or duos it would probably be really cool, because you can have someone driving it and someone firing the guns, and they're a bit noisy, very, lots of fun. So anyway, so I've decided to leave that. Now I'm heading back towards where I came from, heading back towards the edge of the circle, because again the idea with this tactic is as people loot up, they'll move towards the middle of the circle, they'll all start bumping into each other, they'll all start killing each other, they'll all start chasing airdrops and doing things like that. and generally they'll die. Whereas with this strategy, the idea is to try and avoid people for as long as possible. Now, other things you're looking to pick up, lots of meds, armor plate as well. So you start off with the basic armor vest, I think, and then you can pick up better ones. I pick up a medium one, and that will have an armor plate in. And you'll see these armor plates dotted around the place. Basically, when you get shot and your armor gets damaged, you can replace the armor plate. In fact, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see we've got my health bar in white and my armor bar in that sort of turquoisey colour. So as it gets damaged, you can replace it. Using things like health and armor plates is a little bit odd. What you have to do is, it's controlled by the D-pad on the PlayStation. It'll be the same on the Xbox. So for example, to take a health, I have to press up on the D-pad, and then you press the trigger, the fire trigger, to use it. To use a armor plate, to replenish armor plate, you have to press, I think it's left on the D-pad, and then the trigger to put it into your vest. Now, as you see, what I'm doing there is I'm just dropping those shotgun shells because I want to have some more bullets for my STG. And sometimes you will have to make those PUBG decisions where you see a good gun like the STG, but you just haven't got enough ammunition, so you might go back to something else like an LMG or a submachine gun. I've had to go with the Bren gun, which seems really good. The basic one comes with a scope. In fact, I think I win this chicken dinner with the Bren gun. The MP40 seems fairly controllable. The Sten gun seems pretty controllable as well. These are the base models. The Tommy gun, though, really does kick. It really does jump up. So be prepared to control that. Control that recoil as it flicks up. In fact, one of the things, I'll be doing a speed and accuracy drill guide for Firestorm. I think one of the things you could probably do is equip something like a submachine gun in your classes, and then take all the specializations off it, so it doesn't have any horizontal recoil control or vertical recoil control, and then either go into the multiplayer and play with it, or go into combined arms and have a go at shooting bots with submachine guns and auto rifles with no recoil control, to give you a feel for it. Looting is a little bit clunky at the moment. What happens is, when you kill somebody, a little bit like in Fortnite, all their bits kind of jump out, and sometimes they're on top of each other, and it can be a bit odd. What I will say is that when you first start using the inventory, it seems very difficult to do, but once you've been using it for sort of 20 minutes, you do get used to it, and it starts to become a little bit easier. Now, you'll also notice in my inventory I've got a flare. I could control in a vehicle if I wanted at the moment. That's quite fun. I called in a sports car in an earlier game. Still getting used to where loot is. There's loot obviously in buildings and around buildings. If you see any sandbags, like a defensive position, there'll probably be like one of these boxes there which you can open up, and these things have stuff in them. We've mentioned supply drops that come down. But mostly it's looking around houses and just making sure you don't pick up too much stuff. Like, you don't need that much pistol ammo. There we go. I'm just changing my armour there, and you see at the bottom I've now got a second bar of armour, so that's good. So I'll be able better survive in firefights. And I think if you're going toe to toe with people, having good armour is probably de rigueur. You absolutely need that. But with battle royales, position is the most important thing, and that's what we've got at the moment. We're on the edge of the circle now. The circle has moved. Anti-tank mines. Gosh, you can put down anti-tank mines. I think some of these things are really going to come into their own when it's squad play. Where you'll have someone who's got carrying some anti-tank mines, someone who's got a Panzerfaust, someone who's got an anti-tank rifle. And you come across another squad who are in a Tiger. Here comes a supply drop, and as a squad you can take it out. I've been shot out of vehicles already. I've flown the helicopter. The helicopter's great fun. They're dotted around the map. I've shot at someone in a helicopter. I had someone steal my helicopter earlier, actually, which was a bit embarrassing. I landed it, and then a guy crept up and flew off in it, which was yeah. So as you can see down here, although there's nothing really on the map, there's these sandbags and these fortified positions. So I know there's a good chance there's going to be stuff here. So I'm just wandering around, trying to pick stuff up again, right on the edge of the circle. The problem with doing this D23 strategy, D23, if you're wondering, comes from when we play PUBG on Erangel, and the D stands for drive, so it stands for drive to the edge of the circle, drive to the edge of the third circle, and then play the edge. Because this map is so small, you don't really need to do that. You can outrun the Firestorm. So that's good, but we'll still call it D23. But the downside is you don't get that much practice shooting people, because you can see you're not really bumping into people. It can be a little bit boring. There's some sort of vehicle down there. So by all means, jump hot, do something called PCTI strategy, I like to call it, which is playing the centre and then improvising, depending on where the next circle goes. Just to enjoy the game for yourself. But obviously, if you're going for a win, then sometimes playing the edge is a good idea. Try to imagine what other people are doing in the game as well. They'll have dropped hot into the more interesting areas of maps, the named areas, the towns. They'll be chasing supply drops. They'll be trying to find vehicles. And also at this early stage of the game, when it's only been out a few hours, and this will be the same probably for the first couple of weeks, the meta will develop. So at the moment, people won't really know what they're doing. They'll be taking a long time to loot. They'll be taking a long time to explore, and they'll probably be dashing towards the centre. People will be scared of the fire, so they won't be sort of getting stuck in the fire and things like that. They'll all be moving towards the centre. But as time goes on, people will get cleverer. More people will jump the edge. They'll spread out more. More people will rotate around the edge as well. So the idea with that is that you keep going around the edge, moving towards the next circle, but along the edge of it. Now this is interesting. So what happens here is, I'm not sure if I triggered this or not, or it just happened, but the barrage balloon goes up, and then I capture this objective, and an anti-tank rifle appears in a bit. Now obviously I don't really have to do anything, I've just got to sit here. And the reward seems a bit odd, but there are two objectives. There's this objective, B, and another one has started over on A, but it's a long way away, that other one, so it's not like I could run over there. But maybe when you're playing in squads, you could split up, and the other squad could go and get that bit, and you get a really good reward. Again, at this point in the game's life cycle, we don't really know, when you're in a risk-reward situation, what should you go for. So yeah, I think that appeared. But I decided to leave it because we're in solos and there's not that many people driving around in vehicles. So the next circle's appeared. I've got quite a way to go. As you can see, just dropping a marker in the centre so I know which way to run. And you can really appreciate the beauty of the Firestorm map. Scandinavian, somewhere in Norway. And I'm just looking, and what you've got to try and train your eyes to do is to look to the edges of cover. So people hide behind rocks and trees, so look to the edge, and down low as well, because people like to lie down. So I'm just trying to sort out my zoom, just thinking, do I want to go to the left or do I want to go to the right of centre? How do I want to make my way into the circle? It seems to me that sound is very, very important in Firestorm, so you will have noticed I've turned the music off. Footsteps are pretty loud when you're running, and depending on the surface that you're running on as well. So if you're running on rock or wood, that will be louder than when you're sort of tiptoeing across the grass when you're crouch running, because that's pretty quiet. Now, as you can see, we're just moving in, just keeping an eye on, slowing down now. We're getting towards the edge of the circle, because again, people like to hang around at the edge of the circle. There's another fortified position, so let's see what goodies we can pick up. I've got about 150 rounds for my SMG, and I think I've got about 90 rounds for my Bren gun. Heard some gunfire down this way, so let's just go and have a look, see what we can see. In battle royales, especially when you're playing solo, you only want to fire your gun if you're guaranteed a kill, or if you're in imminent danger. Because as soon as you fire your gun, you're giving away your position. What happens is you fire your gun at somebody, and everybody else who's nearby will then look towards where that sound came from, and if they can see you, they will start firing at you. So another thing that will often happen in Battle Royale is you'll get fired at, and you go, huh, and then you'll hear a load more fire as the guy who's firing at you gets fired at by other people. So it's just something to worth bearing in mind. Now, I think, do I hear someone behind me? I think I hear someone behind me at this point. Yeah. Or they might be down below me. No, I think I can hear someone behind me up there. So I crawl into the gorse. Compare this grass to the grass we get on PUBG. It's totally different, isn't it? I crawl into the gorse with the idea of just waiting to find out where he is, so I can let him run past me, and then blat him with my MP40. Again, just trying to stay as quiet as possible, just looking around, not jumping up to give my position away. Let him make the first move. Gunfire behind me. We can see that we're in the top 10 now. There's 9 people alive, including myself. And Firestorm, unlike ordinary Battlefield, isn't about how many kills you get. It's all about surviving. You know, in this particular victory, right? I've got to move now because the Firestorm's coming in, but I'm going to move left to put some space between me and this guy, just so that I can work out where he is. Crouch running to stay quiet, get into the circle, and then kind of go prone, just to tuck in. I think that maybe he's going to try and rotate behind me, so I go back up the circle a little bit, and I'm nervous that people are over to my left. Just going prone just for a minute. Don't always advise going prone in Battle Royales, or multiplayer, because it puts you at the risk of an easy kill from another player, but it does mean that your profile is a lot lower, and if you stay still, people won't see you as much. Now, Firestorm's coming in, so I just plonk myself down here, and now it's a waiting game. There's only 9 people left, including myself, so it's all about who is going to expose themselves, so that other people can see them and other people can shoot at them. So I'm just going to tuck here, right on the edge of the circle, right on the edge of the fire. What's interesting about Firestorm as well is that the fire makes a lot of noise. So even though you're on the edge of the circle, it disrupts what you can hear. So you can't always hear footsteps if you're right on the edge of the fire. Very lucky with this circle change. It disrupts what you can see as well. Your vision gets distorted from the heat. So unlike in PUBG where you can be tucked right up against the blue and it doesn't really matter, in Firestorm there is a compromise to be had if you're playing right on the edge. So just listening out, 6 people left now. Just looking around, listening, waiting for other people to expose themselves. And although this is probably a little bit boring to watch, trust me, when you're actually doing this, it's very exciting. Your heart starts to beat faster. You get that adrenaline buzz. You get the PUBG sweats. You get the PUBG shakes. Well, maybe not quite now because there's still 6 people. And again, I'm lucky with this Firestorm because I'm in the next circle already. Everybody else is being forced together, and I can just kind of wait here. I've got the Bren gun equipped because it's got the medium range sight on it. I think it's probably got a 2x sight on, or 3x sight, so I can engage people at range. Also, it's pretty stable, the Bren gun, in the main game. Just bear in mind as well, because this is a green weapon, it won't have any specializations equipped. So we're just waiting to see what happens. Probably about 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left in the game. Gunfire, right, somebody just died. There is no kill feed, is there? You've just got to keep an eye on the left hand side. So 5 people left, including me. Circle has moved, but I'm very lucky, it hasn't moved very far. So I just need to move over the road, but obviously over the road is going to leave me very exposed. I decide to go early here, just to get myself onto the other side of the road behind the cover of my choice. And remember when I heard that guy earlier, I kind of think that maybe he's behind that shack on the right. Maybe he's behind there. So 4 people left, including myself. Still got a long time. Still got 50 seconds until the firestorm comes in, so there's no need to pop my head up and expose myself to unnecessary fire. There's nothing wrong with snaking through the grass. Nothing wrong at all. Especially when you're searching for your first victory on Firestorm. Looking around, listening, you'll notice again, I've said it a lot of times, but I'm right behind, right on the edge of the circle. Not in yet. I am going to have to move further in when the firestorm comes in shortly, in about 20 seconds. But for now, I'll just stay where I am. You see how small the circle is? Just like in PUBG, when we get to the final circle, which is the one after this one, it does disappear and the firestorm completely shuts. More fire. Right, 3 people left alive now. They're on my left, so I know that there's one guy over on my left at least, because he's just killed somebody. Firestorm's coming in. I'm waiting for someone to come out of on the right, but he doesn't, and I need to get in. So what I decided to do is just throw some grenades. I've got plenty. Let's lob them out there. See if we get a kill. Somebody's firing at somebody else. Just about in. Another grenade. Sticky grenade. Right, so the next firestorm disappears. Still three alive. Right, a guy just died. Not sure how he died. Might have been a grenade. Now, it's all about where is the other person now. If he sees me before I see him, I'm dead, and vice versa, unless they miss when they try and fire at you. We've got a minute left until the firestorm will come in again. At the moment, he's brought in an artillery strike. This is a really good move for the final circle. It'd be a bit cheesy, wouldn't it, if you lost to this? So I'm just staying put where I am. Just looking for his profile to pop up. We've still got 40 seconds. Just looking around. Where is this other guy? Got the brain gun equipped because it's got that sight on. We've still got 29 seconds. MP40. So my kind of tactic would be engage him at range with the brain gun and then finish him off with the MP40. See, right, he's got to be around here somewhere. A few seconds left. No, that's just not him. Very nervous now. Got the PUBG sweat. 7 seconds. Firestorm coming in 5 seconds. Where is he? Right, got to get on my feet now. There's no messing around. Got to be on my feet. Right, he starts firing at me, but doesn't do a good job. I see where he is. He's right at the edge of the fire. Front gun. Get some good hits. Change over to the MP40. He's dead. V for victory. And hopefully you enjoyed that victory. A few hints and tips for getting your first victory on Firestorm. Enjoy the video, hit like, want to see more, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.